That sounds serious.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's meeting of the Essex Business Forum. My name is Squire, I'm your little gem. My job to get you through the agenda. It's also the leadership team's job to assist me.
Yay.
And they can be upstanding now and introduce themselves, please.
Good morning, everybody. Jane Mannion, Membership Coordinator Chair.
See.
Morning guys, Ben, Education Coordinator.
Good morning, I'm Scott, your meeting secretary and handsome face of our chat.
Good morning, I'm Paul Corrigan, I'm your social secretary.
Good morning, I'm Terry, I'm the membership coordinator.
Hang on.
Fight!
Right, you can find out that afterwards. Please be seated. Thank you for introducing yourselves. And before we start the meeting, for those of you who haven't, let me on behalf of all of you wish Ben a happy Right, so it's Wednesday night. He's made it for another year. Well done. Okay, let's get the meeting underway. As always, getting the meeting underway means the performance team. Scott.
Yes, well, welcome to October. Start of a new month means we've reset the Performance League back down to fresh starts, and I can announce how it all went for September. No guest today, so I don't need to do the full explanation, but you know, we score points for doing various different things, about 10 or 12 different ways we score points, as simple and easy as turning up, through to lots of different interactions with other members. 88 points being our benchmark. 4/5, 5/6 of us have managed that this month, which was great. Positions at the top, in third place for 273, Mr. Paul Dulieu. Well done. And then it's been a bit of a tussle at the top between myself and Leanne. 331 points for second, 359 for first. I must announce that it was taking part in a poker night social activity. Top tip for me. Winning at poker and winning on the league. Stop.
I'm the biggest applicant, but that's no.
What can you do?
Nice social events that fall and get lots of points. Right, well done. Thanks, Scott, for that. Education.
Ben, thank you very much. Well, you got me on my page today. So, good morning, everybody. So, the main reason why we get up every Thursday morning and come along to the networking group is to grow our business, right? There's the other benefits that we get out of it is obviously making the friends, being part of the community, networking skills, the support and the fun that we have. There are always like side benefits that come along as well, but the main reason we join a networking group is to grow our business. Why then is it one of the things that people dread or they think is a burden or they try to avoid is a 10-minute presentation? Why? This is a massive opportunity for you to showcase your business and show what products or services you can offer. Now, I totally understand that most people get nervous about doing a presentation. In fact, 75% of the population have a fear of public speaking, and nearly half of them get severe anxiety about it. So good ways to prepare for a 10-minute presentation is to clarify what goal you want people to know. So you can structure your talk and maybe do an introduction first about who you are, what you offer, maybe then a case study from a client that you've worked with, and always importantly, your ideal referral of who you would like to be in touch with. And being engaging with your audience can make a massive, massive difference. So when you're doing your 10 minutes, think about what you want to say, but have that engagement with your audience. So make eye contact with people, and it builds a great sense of rapport. But don't eyeball people. Right. And and don't stare people out. It make people feel a little bit awkward. Use your body language now as well, so you can keep a confident posture. Natural gestures and move around with purpose. Speak slowly and clearly, because when we get nervous, we tend to speak a little bit faster. So try and slow down how you speak by around 10%. And remember that newsreaders will say about 3 words per second. So don't try and cram too much information in. And use personal stories, Toby, to connect with people. And be passionate about your business, because your enthusiasm will be contagious. So be yourself. Authenticity is the key to building trust and connection. So you are the expert in your field. So don't get discouraged or anxious about when your 10 minutes is coming up. Remember, it's your time to shine, and other members will understand who your ideal clients are, which will then lead to more referrals, more business, and more income. And if you think that you're going to run out the front door screaming, don't. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
People emailed me that last week.
Thank you very much, Ben. Membership matters. Terry, do you have something to tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, we've got at least 3 membership renewals that are in the pipeline, I believe. Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. And maybe a couple more, just got to check when their renewals are. But yeah, so when you get those from Jane, work with us. And if you've been a member for a year or more, maybe you can apply for the Mark of Excellence.
Thanks, Terry. Just write down Mark of Excellence. Right. Okay. We now move into the 60-second round. I will stand up because I'm going to pass things round. Let's get the box going round. You put your bits of paper in there, please. Get the business card box going round. As always, make sure that you are adequately represented. And take cards that will assist you in making referrals. I can see that Matt won the Oscar, and he's sitting there with us, and he will be listening carefully and delivering his decision at the end as to who wins the Oscar this week. Ben is our bellman, and after 50 seconds you will hear, and after 60 seconds you will hear, when you hear the double hits, wind up and sit down if you haven't done so. Right, that's all of the preliminaries. Let's get on with the 60 seconds themselves. Matt is first, and he's followed by Paul Corrigan.
Good morning, everyone. Matt from Blue Serif. As you all know, I think social media is an absolute minefield. It's a dark art. It's full of algorithms. It's full of changes. Who knows what to do? Well, we do. We actually really do. And we know everything from how to best schedule your posts, also what content works, what is getting your engagement, how your brand should be represented, and which platforms to use. There is a very common trend where literally people are throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks. And we can make sure that the mud is not mud and it's very nice things, not mud. And it does stick, whatever those very nice things are. But so if you've got any concerns about your social media, you've got any questions, now it may not be, you may be struggling with the management of it, you may be struggling with which platforms to use, and you may be struggling with the content. We can help and advise, and we can also do things like training sessions for you to empower you guys to actually make the most of those platforms. So that's Matt Barry from Dulieu.
Thank you very much, Matt. Paul Corrigan is next, followed by Pat.
Morning all. It's that time of year where people are going to start putting in a room thermostats up. So I'm going to talk to you about room thermostats today. There's lots of different ones out in the market. The best ones are the smart thermostats. They're fantastic. And the best smart thermostat out there is the Hive, I think. It's the most reasonable and the most easiest to use. Literally goes on the wall. It's about half the size of this. It looks nice and black and mirrored, and very nice. And it takes the place of your room thermostat and your programmer. You get two versions. If you've got a combi boiler, it just does your heating. If you've got hot water cylinder, it does heating and hot water. And it just basically, you can control it by the room thermostat, but also if you're on holiday and you're coming back at 2 o'clock in the morning picking up your luggage, you can crack your heating up on your phone, just so it's nice and toasty for when you get home. We charge for a Hive, we charge £300 plus VAT. I'm going to put an offering on the website for EBF members, £280 plus VAT. So yeah, any interest, let us know. Thanks very much.
Right, Taffy, you're followed by Joshua.
Alright, so morning everyone. Martin Removals. Every customer gets the VVIP treatment. No matter how big or how small the move is. In fact, in July we did a quick office move, a little one, and we thought it was just for another happy customer. Turns out he was an executive producer on Obama's Netflix documentary. I'm so impressed. He says booked us for 3 more moves, and he even gave the team a £200 tip last week. So our reviews speak for themselves. Whether it's a shed or a mansion or a Netflix producer's home, we make every move a really powerful experience. So if you know anyone wants a VVIP in need of moving, send them our way. Take care of them. Martin moves.
Thank you, Taffy. Joshua, you're next, and you're followed by Blake.
Right, good morning all, Joshua from KAC Studio, your resident architect. Just to remind you, I'm all about unlocking potential and creating value. So right now my appeal and referral would be anyone actually looking to increase the value of their property. There's lots of ways I can help with that. Just yesterday I visited a client in Brentwood who's trying to sell their property, it's not selling. And I came around and I was able to just give them a few tips with different things they could do. Not necessarily an extension, but just inexpensive ways to increase or maybe even to look at other ways of making money for their property. So maybe renting it, turning it, converting it into that sort of thing. So, so really helpful just to connect me with anyone who's they even know that they want to do a loft extension or any form of extension. Those are the sort of things that I can help with. And so unlocking potential, creating value. That's me, Joshua.
Thanks, Joshua. Right, Blake, you're next, and you're followed by Mike.
Morning everyone, Blake from Hive. Halloween's coming. So if anyone wants any smokes or flashbacks to terrify children stealing more than one candy, you know the ones. Come and get them from me. You can throw them at children, scare them off, make them run down the Indian driveway, a couple of smoke grenades and a couple of pumpkins, little displays. If anyone wants to terrify children, let me know.
Thanks, Blake. Invite you?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Invite you?
Yeah. I was scared out the window.
Just scared of children.
I could take it, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't look at them, but...
Mike, you're next, and you're followed by Bill.
Not really sure I want to follow that. Morning everyone, Mike from Blackwood Media. So a little story from the other day. I was browsing around online and I saw someone mention a bit of software called Cavalry, and apparently you could do some clever 2D animation stuff. I thought it would be useful. I didn't really know what it was, so I went to Google, just typed in Cavalry, trying to figure out what the program was about. Their website came up first, so I clicked on that. Straight away, right underneath their main banner, there was a video on there that was titled, "What is Cavalry?" And clicked on it, and it was about a minute long, and it perfectly summed up what the program did, what it offered, and yeah, basically I didn't have to scroll, didn't have to read through loads of stuff, it answered it before I even asked the question. And that got me thinking, how powerful is that for any business? A simple video on the website that just answers the first question that everyone's got when they come to the website. And it made me think, that's brilliant, it's exactly what I wanted to know. So if you or anyone knows or wants to answer those key customer questions clearly and effectively, I'd love to help. And it's a really strong tool for drawing in slightly confused customers like I was, just explained what I needed to know. So it's Mike from Blackwater Media, making your business look like business. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Ben, you're next, and you're followed by Sally.
Good morning, guys. Ben Golding from Utility Warehouse, and I help people to save money on their essential household utilities. Now, yesterday the price cap was risen, and although it's only risen very, very small amount, UW has frozen their current tariff, their fixed tariff, for a limited time only. Now, the prices are predicted to rise again the 1st of January, and then again on the 1st of April. So there's never been a better time to fix the price cap and fix your energy now, plus get great value broadband, plus amazing offers on our mobiles. You can even get extra mobiles totally free for the first 6 months. And for the next couple of months, we're giving away £150 credit on your cashback card to spend on whatever you like. So I'm looking to speak with people that would like savings, simplicity and service with the UK's cheapest, most trusted and most recommended utility company. That's Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse.
Sally, you're next, and you're followed by
Hey, good morning everyone. Sally from Landrum Fragrances. Today I'm just going to mention how you can use a masterclass for increasing brand awareness. This week I've been working with one of the leading PR consultants from London with a new artisanal non-alcoholic sipping drink called Silva, SYLVA, and they're going to run a masterclass with me up at the Rosewood Hotel in Berkeley Square. And sadly, their brand ambassador, who will be attending, is Kit Harington, for anyone who is the Game of Thrones. So he's going to be there with social media influencers and clients and prospective clients. We're going to have a 2-hour session, pouring candles with a woody theme, suits their brand, and then they're going to try all the different flavours of the drinks that they do. So just to let you know, if you know any PR consultants, if you're looking to increase your brand awareness, get some exposure to your customers.
Thanks, Sally. Catherine, you're followed by
Morning, Catherine Foley, English Tutor Plus. It's National Poetry Day today, so I thought I'd share with you a poem about poetry. It's called The Introduction to Poetry, very original. I asked them to take a poem and hold it up to the light like a colour slide, or press an ear against its hive. I say, drop a mouse into a poem and watch him probe his way out, or walk inside the poem's room and feel the walls for a light switch. I want them to water ski across the surface of a poem, waving at the author's name on the shore. But all they want to do is tie the poem to a chair with a rope and torture a confession out of it. They begin beating it with a hose to find out what it really means. So a common misconception about poetry is there is just one right way of understanding it. This poem is a great reminder that poetry should be tortured to find a meaning, but that students should be given the confidence to explore their own interpretation without fear of being wrong. I can help do that. So if you know anyone, adult or child, who would like to appreciate and analyse poetry, call me.
Thanks very much. Clara, you're followed by Leanne.
Hi, I'm Clara Down from Down to Mortgages and Financial Services. So I thought I'd sort of show you a little bit of an illustration of how sometimes actually it can be really sort of helpful for people to engage my services. So I was at a networking thing last Thursday, and this fairly young sort of couple were talking about the fact that, you know, oh my gosh, getting a mortgage, it must be so stressful, you know, worried about it, or not even at that stage. And in the group was somebody I'd helped with their mortgage recently. Wasn't expecting anything to be said, and this guy sort of speaks up and he's like, well, I did my first mortgage myself, and this time I've used Clara, and it hasn't been stressful at all. And I'm sat there going, thank you very much, I'll take that one. But it really does illustrate, you know, the stresses that come from actually having to try and do it yourself, working out what they need, trying to sort of package it all and having all those conversations with the lender. It really is quite stressful for people, whereas I can take all that away. All they have to do is deal with me, and I can do everything else. So it's just a kind of reminder that, you know, if you know anyone who's looking into it, you know, get them to speak to me, and hopefully I can take all those stresses away. Clara Down to Mortgages and Financial Services.
Thank you, Clara. Leanne, you're followed by Sarah.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to remind you all that I create homes that not only look good but feel good. So whether they're looking for quiet luxury or a place that feels like them, I can guide them to find their final flair. It's not just fluffing cushions or a bit of styling here and there. It's creating spaces filled with things that you love and creating an atmosphere that blends in with you and your lifestyle and how you want to live. I help people fall in love with their homes again. So please, tell your friends you know an interior designer who creates unique homes, who will make the process simple, and who will make their home feel like home. Put them in touch with me, and I'll take it from there. That's Leanne of Brooklyn Interiors.
Thanks, Leanne. Sarah, followed by John.
Good morning, everybody. Sarah from Augustin Assistant Services. So, virtual assistants come from a really, really diverse background. I found ones that used to be bookkeepers, a risk analysis, events managers, even a nanny. So, my background, as you know, is corporate professional services, and we all bring different things from our backgrounds. So, my role is very strategic. And if you've never heard of a fractional chief of staff or anything fractional about C-suite, you can employ things like a fractional CTO or a CFO who basically come into scaling businesses and they act part-time at that level to help you when you need it. So my role as a fractional chief of staff could be to deliver you your fantastic business plan that you've created with a fantastic business mentor and just delivering that and actioning the role coming out of that. So I can turn your strategy into action and make sure nothing slips through the cracks. If you know anybody that might benefit from my help, please let me know. That's Sarah Smith from Augustin Assistant Services.
Sarah. John, you're next, and you're followed by Terry Bailey.
Good morning, everybody. I know you know we deal with electronic security needs. Why do people use us? They use us because we do it right. And the testament to that is the manufacturers even recommend us to clients. And then the clients insist on using us. The Manchester project we're doing at the moment, the main contractors wanted to use their own guys. They were told absolutely not. If you want the contract, you use JMA. And that was the insistence by not only the manufacturers, but the actual end user. The job in Bristol, they actually threw the main contractor off site because they wouldn't use us. Because they wanted it done right. And their security needs in Bristol were so intense that they wouldn't use anybody else. Because we do it right. So if you know anyone who's got problems with their electronic security, whether it's their CCTV, their access control, their barriers, just put our name forward because we'll put it right forward. So that's John Hammond from JMH Technology, applying technology to security.
Thanks, John. Tim, you're next, and you're followed by Scott.
Thanks, Aidan. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Terry Bailey from TM Law. As you know, I do lots of different law, but this week I've been fighting the good fight against the insurers for a personal injury claim. My client was a worker in a care home, laminate floor, very much like this, and as she walked along the kitchen, the laminate floor had a gap in it. She caught her toe and it went down and hit the range cooker with her head. Lucky enough, she hit it with her head, and she was quite badly injured. So I put a claim in, and the insurers, who should remain nameless, Viva, they denied liability. They said, well, there's no witnesses to the accident, and the man who was in the room was at the range cooker. He didn't see it. He heard a bang, turned around, she was laying on the floor. And we've looked at the floor, we can't see any problem with it. So I presented him with 4 photographs, which they've already had, of the gap in the laminate flooring. And this flooring, you can move, you can literally move it. So I'm fighting the good fight. As you can imagine, I'm not taking anything they told me as possible. And you might be hearing more about this.
Thanks, Terry. Scott, you're followed by
Possibly a different new topic for you this morning to talk about, and that is freshness. Freshness as Google sees it. So you're all aware, and you've probably worked hard to create optimised, effective content on your website, but Google does reward you for content freshness. So best pages on your site, if you wrote them 4 years ago and you're proud of them and happy with them, just getting in and doing a little update, and not completely rewrite, but perhaps change a couple of paragraphs or add a new perspective to some of your top performing pages can actually have a really significant impact on your rankings. So think, what are your top 3, 5 pages on your website? Could I review that content that was written for me or I created X number of years ago and just give it a 2025 thing. Freshness equals Google points. So if anyone is interested in that, or when you see someone, just ask them, when did you last update it? And then we can help with that. Thank you very much.
Looks lovely. Paul, you're next.
Good morning everyone, Paul Dulieu, Essex Celebrants. We help you celebrate and commemorate life's milestones, be they moments of love, loss or new beginnings. I've helped a lot of people commemorate the loss of a loved one, but up until now I've not done anything about love and new beginnings. That was until last weekend. Did a wedding, my first wedding down in Hampshire, and I think it went well. How better to tell you how well it went than a review that somebody very kindly left me. Paul was a celebrant at a family wedding this weekend. It was fantastic. He hit exactly the right personalised but relaxed tone, and he had, as he'd been requested, and had obviously done his research on the couple. He also managed to combine warmth and humour and engage with the guests, making everyone feel included. They couldn't have wished for a better ceremony or celebrant. I enjoyed it, they enjoyed it. All to do.
Thank you, Paul. Dave Roberts, you're next, and I'll follow Brian, followed by Jane.
Morning everybody, Dave from Electrical. We're electricians based in Brentwood. We carry out all forms of electrical work, installations, rewires, for new builds, all sorts of stuff like that. But a really good referral for me is testing. I've said it before. It's really good. So it could be commercial testing, offices, schools, stuff like that. We can do factories. But recently we've been doing a house, and we came across a few issues. This one here, the ceiling was actually live. Oh! So there's a random cable sitting above the ceiling. And, we've managed to sort that one out. But we also found in this property the lighting that had been wired in basically offcuts the cable. There was like about 6 or 7 pieces of cable all joined together to make up the lighting circuit. So that's the sort of things we find when we go around. DIY little adaptations. And if you want it done properly, please give us a call. We'll come around and sort it out for you. Thank you.
Dave, that's awesome. If you found that frightening, let me tell you something else that's frightening. 56% of the population do not have a will, and that 56% probably most of them don't understand the intestacy rules that will apply when they die. More frightening, 80% of the population probably don't have lasting power of attorney, and therefore are not in a position to deal with somebody who loses mental capacity. And of those people, most of them think that as family members, they will be able to deal with the affairs of the one who's lost capacity. That capacity can come from an accident as much as it's likely from old age. So, I want you all to talk to your family and find out those who fall within the 56 or 80% categories. You just send them to me, and I will happily run through things with them. Initial conversation costs nothing, and hopefully I can help them, and you can give me a referral. I say Squire from TM Law, and I'm followed by Jane, who is followed by Paul.
Thank you. So of course at the English Green Tea Company we sell English breakfast tea, Earl Grey, all the usual suspects. However, bizarrely, our bestseller is this rather scary tea created in honour of my great-grandfather, and there's a photo here of, he's the tall chap and the one beside him is King George V. And anyway, we created a tea in his honour, very smoky. It was voted the best tea in the world by the British Cigar Society. It tells you all you need to know, but have a sniff, it's interesting. However, what I'd like to point out is these little things, and they come in not just the scary tea, but all sorts, they fit inside a homemade Christmas cracker. You know the kits you get. So you could give every guest a separate little cup of tea, well there's a few tea bags in there, as a little gift. And then save this one for the person you dislike the most at your business? Spreading cheer and harmony, the English Green Tea Company, come and sniff our scary tea.
Thank you, Jane. I thought we got through the meeting without mentioning.
No.
We haven't.
No, you were there.
Morning, Paul Booth from Booth & Co, Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. We've got lots of high net worth individuals as clients. Some earning as much as £20 million a year, which isn't bad. One such couple during the week, in the last year they earned just over £500,000 worth of interest and capital gains in there as well. And so we just finalised their tax return, but we know their interest can be a lot lower the next year, so we can make a claim to reduce their 25, 26 payments on account. Also, he made capital gains, she made losses. This year we're going to transfer some non-realised gains to her, done on a nil gain, nil loss basis, so to use up her capital gains tax losses. So that's the sort of things we do, looking for clients who earn a lot of money and want to save some tax. So Paul Booth from Booth & Co, minimise tax.
Thank you very much, Paul. Right.
Sorry, I forgot to put my name on the sheet.
Toby. That's all.
This one.
Oh,
that one.
I need to give 30 seconds. Yeah.
If anyone can do it, I can.
Tell me why I have forgotten you. I really don't know. Give us.
I didn't have to sign up for breakfast, that's why.
You can have 60 seconds.
Thank you. So I recently took on a new client who does branded workwear and uniforms and that sort of thing, embroidery. I didn't meet the owner initially. I met her BDM at a networking meeting. I was talking about business hamsters perpetually on the wheel, never getting anywhere. And she came up to me afterwards and said, "That's my boss. She's a hamster." So she arranged a meeting with her boss, and fortunately the director, this lady, she did recognise that she did have a bit of a problem. So started working with her, getting directional plan in place, giving her momentum, clarity. So it's not always the person that owns the business that sees the problems first of all. Quite often it's an accountant that sees the problems first. So if you know anybody that knows anybody with a business or who is in a business that's having problems, please do put them in touch with me. And also if you know anybody that wants branded workwear, please put them in touch with me and I can connect them because they do a really good job.
Thank you very much, Toby. Right, that is the end of the 60-second round. And Matt.
Yes, very good. 60 seconds around. It's obviously it's become apparent that actually we know what we're on about, don't we? But there was a great calming influence from quiet luxury. I love that phrase. To non-stressful mortgages, to candle making sessions for branding, and then obviously it went downhill with Blake. But for the pure calmness, for the moment the person got up and spoke and delivered their 60 seconds, not only was it faultless, but it was a moment where we all looked up and stopped. Some people write, some people, filling things on forms and whatever, but actually I looked around and we were all just in the zone. And it goes to Kat.
Oh, I didn't actually look at any of you when I was doing it, so I didn't really want to. Thank you very much.
Well done, Catherine. Thank you very much indeed, Matt. Right, that definitely is the end of the 60-second round. What do we have after the 60-second round? We have the meeting secretary report. Scott.
Yep, okie dokie. 3 things to tell you about this morning, but first of all, I've got 16 referrals so far recorded, so well done, that's really, really good. About £8,000 worth of fresh business so far, which normally isn't all of it, but that's what we've remembered and we're putting on the green forms. My continuous nag, I'm going to say it again, there's still 4 members who have never logged in to our lead forms. I named and shamed last week, I'm not naming and shaming again, but guess what? Most of them aren't here. It's in the meeting as well. So there we go, that's as naughty as I'm going to get. On the positive side, Member offers. Remember, we have got an offers system in the website. So if you log into it, there's a facility where we can promote deals between ourselves. If you want to be in that and you want to add your own member offer, please do send it across. I'll get it tagged up there. It's just a little way that we can share some discounts and deals among ourselves. And lastly, just as a reminder, we have a little sustainability program for EBF. We plant trees each month. We planted 17 more trees, September included, which means we've planted over 300 trees now. Their own little virtual forest, just as a thing we do each month, depending upon how much business we pass, how many referrals, members renewing, and so on. So it's just a nice little incentive. And a couple of members have contributed to our forest as they've reached milestones in their business or renewals or those kind of things. So you're very, very welcome if you want to, consider adding to our forest. It's a lovely thing to do, I think. Thank you.
Right. Next, Paul, I think you want to tell us about the synergy team meeting for finance and profession.
Yeah, it's the finance and profession synergy team meeting next Tuesday. Always the second Tuesday of each month. Next week is the first Tuesday of this month because I'm away following Tuesday. So I'll send the normal invite round. It's at Little Burstead, as most of you know, 4:30 next Tuesday. I'll email you.
Great. Thanks very much, Paul. Right, we move on to the next major part of the meeting, which is the 10-minute presentation.
So that said, today we have Paul Dulieu from Essex Celebrants. His position in the company is a celebrant. There, nature of the business, civil. Sorry, I was going to say celibacy then. That one. Located in Essex. A couple of bits about Paul. Something that winds Paul up is bad manners.
That's my favourite band.
Oh, so I'm just not with us now. I've got my date of birth down as well on the thing as well, so it's like, tell him to stop interrupting. Yeah, we should. So, bad manners. Their favourite holiday location, being in the mountains any time of the year. With £1 million cash, he would still be a celebrant. And finally, a sentence on Paul's headstone was he learned from his mistakes. Put your hands together, Paul Dulieu.
Good morning, everyone. Last time I stood up here and did 10 minutes, I focused on funerals. Today, you might be pleased to hear that I'll be talking about something more joyful, and that's weddings. But before I do, it's worth explaining what a celebrant actually does. A celebrant is first and foremost a listener. I listen to people's stories, the story of a life for a funeral, the story of love for a wedding or a vow renewal, or the story of a new arrival, a new life, or a new chapter for a naming ceremony. A celebrant is also a storyteller. I take what I've heard and I craft it into words that capture who somebody was, or who a couple, or a family are, so that everybody that's at that event feels the meaning of the occasion. I'm also a guide and a designer. I help people choose readings, music, rituals, and structure so their ceremony reflects them or their loved one perfectly. And on the day itself, I'm a calm, professional presence at the front, holding the space, making sure everything flows, and allowing the people at heart of the ceremony to focus on what matters most. Depending on the ceremony, my role shifts as well. At a funeral, I'm more of a presenter, steady, respectful, guiding people gently through a difficult moment. At a wedding, I'm more of a performer, setting the tone, creating energy, and helping everyone feel part of the joy of the day. That's what Celebrants is. We're not tied to religion or to legal scripts. We create meaningful ceremonies, truly bespoke ceremonies that reflect the people involved. And today, I want to show you or explain to you how that looks in practice for all. A celebrant wedding is a ceremony created and led by a professional celebrant like me. It's not a legal service, so the couple usually do the paperwork separately, either before or afterwards, at a registry office, just like registering a birth or death. Because it isn't bound by legal restrictions though, the ceremony itself can be absolutely anything the couple want. It can take place anywhere. It can be in a barn, on the beach, in a back garden. And it can include whatever words, music, rituals or readings matter to the people involved. By contrast, registrars are limited by legal wording, locations, and the time they can actually do it. With me, there's no template, no restrictions. Couples get a ceremony that reflects them, their personalities, their belief, and their true love story. Well, why does this matter though? Why does the difference between celebrants and registrar-led or church or religious leader-led wedding matter? Well, the law around marriage in England and Wales is hugely outdated. Civil ceremonies with the registrars were first introduced in 1837, and in nearly 200 years, very little has changed beyond the addition of same-sex marriage, civil partnerships, and the licensing of particular places in certain venues. And the law focuses on where you can marry. You can marry in a place of worship, a register office, or a licensed venue, rather than who marries you. That's why couples who want celebrants still need to do the legal paperwork separately. And it feels really counterintuitive when you consider that couples spend months, maybe years, and thousands of pounds planning every detail of their wedding day. The perfect venue, the menu, the flowers, the music, the outfits, yet have almost no choice over who conducts their ceremony and what they're allowed to say to each other. There are plans to reform the law to focus more on who marries a couple rather than where, but until that actually comes through, and it's in the pipeline at the moment, couples who want something truly personal have to come to me. I do the beautiful, memorable, personal, bespoke bit, paired with a quick register office visit for the legalities. That freedom, that chance to create something truly personal, is exactly why couples choose a celebrant like me. I help them tell their story, write their vows, weave in rituals like hand fasting, cocktail ceremonies, the signing of a wedding certificate, exchange of rings, and I can blend cultures, beliefs, traditions, and the people that are important to them in their lives seamlessly into a very special occasion. Tone is another big part. Some couples want traditional and romantic. Others prefer relaxed and light-hearted. Because with me there's no set script, the ceremony can be as formal or as informal as they want. The wedding I conducted on Saturday is a perfect example of this. The couple wanted something that really reflected who they are as a couple and as an extended family. And as this message I received from the groom afterwards shows, I think I achieved that. Hi Paul, I've been thinking a lot about why Saturday was such an awesome day. There are a range of factors, but what it boils down to is the tone you set in your delivery. From the very outset, people got it, and it was just an utter joy for everyone. I've never seen different groups of people merge like they did on Saturday. That was down to you. It was amazing. Thank you. For me, that sums up what a celebrant wedding can achieve. Yes, it was primarily about the couple getting married, Darren and Sarah, but I created an atmosphere and an occasion that brought everyone together in celebration, which then set the tone for the rest of the day. So, how do I take a couple from we're engaged to, oh, we're married? Step one is I meet with them for what I call a chemistry meeting. We do this on the phone, we do it online, I like to try and do it in person. It's to see if we click. It's a relaxed but important meeting. The couple need to feel comfortable with the person that's going to be standing beside them on one of the biggest moments of their life. If they like them, they want to take things forward, that's great. If they don't, that's fine. I can recommend other celebrants that may be more their cup of tea. Step two, questionnaires. Lots of the round. I send 3 to the couple, I give 3 to the couple. 1 is for them to fill it together, and then 1 for them each to complete it separately and not confer with the other person. And they help uncover the stories, the values, the details the couple may not have even thought about yet. And they become sort of the building blocks of creating the script. I then have a discovery session with them. We bring everything together. We explore readings, music, vows, tones, structure, rituals. And this is where the ceremony really begins to take shape. And quite often they've not thought about stuff, and I mention it, and they, oh yeah, actually that'd be nice to have that. And it's an evolving process. Step 4, I write the ceremony. I take all the information and craft a bespoke script. The couple review it, suggest edits, and we refine it until it feels completely theirs. And then step 5, on the big day I arrive early, coordinate with the venue and wedding party, and lead the ceremony with a calm professionalism, holding the space so the couple can focus on each other. And afterwards, I provide them with a keepsake version of their wedding script, so that at a later date they can sit back and reflect on what a great day it was. So, to sum up, a celebrant wedding is about freedom. It's about personalisation and professionalism. Each one is unique, built from scratch to reflect the couple and their story. My tagline of love, loss and new beginnings. Weddings sit firmly in the love and new beginnings part, and it's such a privilege to stand alongside couples as they start this chapter of their life. So if you know anyone who's engaged or planning to a wedding would love a ceremony that is truly their own, please think of me or be in touch. Thank you.
Paul, questions? You will emotional.
Paul, you know the legality side of it. How does that tie in with you? I mean, I'm practical, basically. I can't envision it. So what do you do? Do you sit down with a registrar? Do they go off somewhere before or after? How does it work?
It can happen at the ceremony itself, but what is more common is the couple will go and do what they call the 2+2, so it's them plus 2 witnesses at the local registry office, either before or afterwards. So the wedding I did on Saturday, the couple were legally married, but they hadn't celebrated it. And so, you know, the wedding, I'm not allowed to actually declare them man and wife. There's certain wording I can't use, but to everybody else there, to all intents and purposes, that is the moment they come together as a married couple, even though technically they were legally married. But if you go back 300 years before you had to register a marriage, and if you go to developing nations, quite often weddings are not a legal signing a piece of paper, it's actually a public declaration that you want to be together forever and, you know, and so on.
My statement last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Are you allowed to do funerals at traditional churches and things like that? Obviously, it's all happening in the homes of a vicar or a priest or whatever. Can you do those as well as the normal, less formal settings?
No. No. So, you know, a church, for example, it's their domain. Yeah. And it'd be unlikely, to be honest, it'd be very unlikely that the church would say, actually, we're an appetite non-religious. I mean, or I could do religious ceremonies, but because I'm not an ordained minister, whether I could use that or not.
You mentioned hand fasting. Do you do things like broom jumping?
Yeah, anything. I mean, when it comes to ritual, the exchange of rings is a wedding ritual. The signing of a wedding certificate is a legal process, but it's also a ritual. The throwing of bouquets ritual, all the rituals is something that has taken place, you know, a long time. Hand fasting, which to a lot of people is never really heard of that. The expression to tie the knots comes from this word called hand fasting, which is where the couple have their hands together, and there's kind of a symbolic tying of a knot around their hands, which they both put apart and they create this knot. They've created this knot together. And but there's also, you can create your own rituals. There's a really nice one for wine drinkers, for example, where you take a bottle of wine, you've got a copy of their vows or promises, as I like to tell people here, because, you know, let's keep things a little bit more kind of 21st century. You put them in the box. The couple now they live down together, and on their first anniversary, when they read the vows, they drink the wine and they reseal it. So yeah, I mean, any sort of ritual, any couples sometimes have their own things as well, which is lovely.
Where does broom jumping come from, isn't it?
Not sure. I mean, you know.
I like that. You use the space, you use the phrase, hold holding the space for them. Can you elaborate? I was intrigued by that.
Yeah, so you're a couple. The Saturday, for example, the groom standing in front, everyone's looking at him. The bride is due to come in, and so it's really just kind of I'm controlling what's going on in the space. I'm giving the signal for when the bride is going to enter, so everyone, the music's already and whatever. And really, although they are the focal point, the words I'm saying are the important part. So it's really just a bit like I'm now. Everyone's looking at me, everyone's listening to what I say, and I can control the tempo and the atmosphere. So,
anybody else? Paul, thank you very much indeed.
Yes.
Right. That is followed, as always, by the referrals and testimonials round. As usual, if we start with the naughty corner with Paul, get the ball rolling, and Paul, if you do the running, please.
Yeah, thank you for the slot being excellent as always, and thank you. Paul dealt with my brother's funeral in March, and he was very professional on this difficult day, so thank you for that. For a big Paul, which he knows about, thank the money for the next member.
There's this week testimonial for Dave, who did my UV and childhood selection. The first number is really lovely done, so yeah. Give it up to you.
Excellent. Minutes. I'd love to be at one of those ceremonies to see you. Obviously, we've seen it just now, but yeah, I'm sure there's not many a dry eye in the house. Excellent. Yeah, brilliantly delivered as always. Actually, I've got a referral from you to me. This is the Digby thing that I
Oh
spoke
yes,
about.
yes. Sorry, yeah.
And actually, so I didn't actually generate any of these. This Paul then handed this to me. So it's a referral from me to Paul. I love that. How was that? Excellent meeting. Thank you.
It's 10 minutes, mate. Always a pleasure listening to you speak at Bridges. So good. What have we got? Thank you for the money to Matt. Yeah, the Synergy Poker Night, which went very well, and I lost absolutely miserably out, so and one-to-one with Sarah. Thank you very much.
Right, it's like Ben, as always, mate. And I love doing this process.
So good. Happy birthday to Ben.
You deserve all the success in the world, mate. Obviously, you really do. You're an absolute legend of a bloke. I have no referrals or things, but that's it. See you next week.
Lovely meeting, and I love listening to you. It's so lovely when someone is passionate and enjoys what they do, and I know that about you, so it's really great. And thank you for the expert. I'll wait for my next 10 minutes, obviously.
Yes.
I'll be planning it. I've got a one-to-one with mine. Thank you. I have thank you for the money to Toby, and I have a referral for Stuart, who's not here. So I shall keep that one. Have a lovely week, everybody. Thank you.
That's fine. And the passion comes across in your 10%. Thank you. Got a referral to Paul Booth for our annual accounts. And just wanted to thank you to Taffy and Corey. Thank you. Good meeting.
Yeah, great meeting. No. Been abused.
Yeah.
But yeah, great start. Great 10 minutes. I'd like to say that I'd like to do my funeral, but you probably won't. You never know. Might have actually been way back. But
with all the explosions, it's possible. Yeah.
Well, if fate should dictate, I'll be there, mate.
You're going to make sure of it the way on. Yeah, great meeting. I will probably not see you all next week.
New Manchester,
I'm in Manchester.
Excellent meeting, great head start. But yeah, I've known Paul for, I don't know, 30 plus years now. I've seen him perform in many different ways and roles. But yeah, it's just a natural evolution that you're doing that. I would love to see one. And I think we lost around that. I know Sarah from York's ago.
Yes, yes, Sarah.
Venture Scout days.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. One referral to Blake. Thank you very much. To Scouty kids taking up airsoft at your kit now. So thank you for your time.
Actually, Blake, one of your woodbines goes off in your hands, you probably will be able to get him to do it. I have first-hand experience of Paul's handling. He dealt with funeral and dealt with it very, very sensitive. And it was a great experience, sort of. So, thank you.
Oh no, that was brilliant. Literally could listen to you all day. It's and if I ever get married, then you can come and do the service.
Never say never, Ben. Never say never.
Well, depends how this weekend goes. To be fair. That's one story. So anyway, well done. 1-to-1 there with.
To Sarah, Catherine.
Yes. 1-to-1 there with Leanne. Can you pass that to Sally, please? That's how to get your app. There and a referral there for Fleet and Lorry Insurance for James. Is not it. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Yeah, that was a great insight, Sarah said. I can't wait for my next 10 minutes. I'll be counting the days. And that was really brilliant. I married Dom last year and it was just the most perfect wedding, apart from the registrar, who we met just before the ceremony. There was and liaising with them was a whole stress. We had to send off our vows for her to check, but it was just so impersonal. I really wish that you'd been doing this last year and then it would have been 100% perfect. Next time, maybe my next time. Next time. I've just got to thank. I'll just say that's for Ben, and there's thank you for mine to Howard who's not here. Thank you.
Yeah, great 10 minutes. You can see you're passionate about what you do. I look forward to not using you. Great, it's not. My first 10 minutes, if anyone remembers, was a complete shambles. But you get more confident as you do it. So. I'll thank you for the money for Stuart, who's not here yet, and I'll thank you for the money for the next member.
Thanks for the head slot then. My dad used to teach public speaking and said that the 60 seconds is in fact the hardest thing to do. If you can master that, 10 minutes a piece of cake. In 60 seconds, in that time, you have so much to fit in. Introduction, conclusion. But, so if you can do a good 60 seconds, and most of you can now, 10 minutes to breathe, don't worry about it. Paul, excellent. I've been to one of Paul's funerals, one of Paul's event, which was a funeral, and it was really very sensitive, and I was very impressed. It's the first time I've ever been to a funeral with a celebrant, and it was really just such a much better experience. Referral for John Foster, who's not here, and one for Paul Booth. George Howard, I don't know if he's been in touch. Holly's boyfriend. He keeps asking me for your details. He really needs help. I'll keep you on her that time.
Great presentation. I mean, I can sit and listen to you for ages, so yeah, you never know. But my children know to use you. Thank you for the head slot and for a chat because I've said yes to something next year, which I am definitely going to need your help on. Really need your help on. So fingers crossed on that one. Depends if Chelmsford City Racecourse get their license. Great meeting. See you all next week, not next year.
Excellent meeting. Great head slot, about 10 minutes. Great 10 minutes. Matt said about Catherine Holden, you very much a great example of what you do, and also really good insight into what you do. I learned a lot from that. Really fantastic. My next wedding. Actually, we never had a wedding as such, so maybe 10th anniversary might do something. So, yeah, I'll send out the invitations. A referral please to Sally. Thank you for beautiful camp. And see you next week.
Okay, brilliant. It's not. I know everyone said that by now, but it was really good, and I just wish I could deliver as well as you do. So lots of that. Great, 10 minutes. Paul, thanks very much. I do have 2 sons. They're not that far away, probably.
Okay.
Events, so I've noted that. I've got a thank you for money for Toby. Thank you very much.
That's it, you learn quicker than this.
I've got a referral from Clara. And I've got a referral for John.
Yeah, great meeting. As ever, your presentation skills are always the best, and you come across so well. It's so lovely to listen to you. I have a referral for Blake, more feet for my sofa. It apparently has 2 pins down and no feet on it, so I needed some feet, and his printer can do them. So I'm very impressed. I was just like, how can I do this? And I was like, Blake. Which is the joy of this sort of meeting. You know, I had sort of fairly recently with kind of a referral. Somebody said, "Do you know anyone who can do testing?" I'm like, I think I do. You know, and that is the joy of this, being able to kind of send out those names and then get a great service for people. So yeah, brilliant as ever, and thank you very much. See you all next week.
So I'm thinking that this pressure thing is an unusual aspect of weaving the pride and home.
It's not.
I've never come across it before. I think it's a significant sign of the extra detail you go into the personalisation. Yes, so well done. It's very enjoyable. Thank you. And Ben, thank you, darling, setting us off. Well, you and I are the only people who like public speaking, I think.
I know, I teach people how to do it as well.
Yes. Yes. Walked and streamed. Thank you. I didn't put it down as a referral. I managed to bring a big bag of clean clothes because Toby is a chairman or a patron of a clothing society, of a homeless group. And I don't know if you've ever mentioned, but toiletries and clean clothes are all useful for Toby. Not for you. Because my white blouses may not suit you.
I'll try them all later.
Thank you. Great meeting, everybody.
Thanks, Ben, for the slot. Yeah, very good reminder of how important 10 minutes is. And it's great I think that's really good, especially amazing for anyone who might not record their wedding. They've got a memory.
Also here at funerals as well.
Yes.
Even more.
No, it's really good. So I'll be on the lookout for opportunities for you. I had a one-to-one with Sarah yesterday. And I'm working on a few referrals for other members. And so yeah, great meeting everyone, and see you all next week.
Some of these are from last week. I wasn't here, so Colin. There's a referral from that. It's via the website. Another referral from that. I see more business part of the presentation. A referral from Matt. Resources. Referral from Scott. That's the week before last week. That's the WhatsApp stuff. Thank you for sorting that out. And I'll talk to you after. It's not really a referral, but I'd like to chat to the embroidery people and stuff. That's it.
Oh, and pizza winner, please, Paul, from today.
Oh, birthday wine. Birthday wine.
Like you need that skip.
Yeah, come on, if it's going to happen.
You have a withdrawal then?
The winner is this is from Toby. Does it sound like
Right, well, thank you very much for your 10 minutes, for doing the running, drawing the prize. Just one thing to say about how Paul dealt with his 60 seconds. He got a 10 minutes, but he didn't say, well, I've got 10 minutes, so I'm not doing 60 seconds. Use your time. You've got 10 minutes, you've got 60 seconds. Use your 60 seconds. But other than that, great, excellent. excellent. Thank you very much. We are now ready to depart. Before we do, Mike.
As Ben mentioned, I've got my 10 minutes next week. If anyone knows they're here and is willing to be a model, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to start calling around. And Scott said you get 20 points for doing it.
So everybody's not here, come in.
Preferably.
Right, excellent. That's sorted out.
See what happens.
No models needed, but the property synergy meeting's next on Thursday.
Right. Anybody else? Paul.
I just say thank you to various members for their texts and messages on Saturday, wishing you good luck for the first meeting. It was a lovely, lovely touch, and it really symbolises just what a great networking group it is. So thank you.
Excellent. Right. In that case, and on that note, I'll send you all on your way. Thank you all for coming. Let's hope we have a few more next week with a good turnout for everyone in all. Look forward to seeing you all next week.